Hello, Chevra. Do you ever have one of those days where you just can't seem to get rid of that 2-ton weight on your shoulders that is called fear? And it doesn't matter if it's real fear or imagined, your mind keeps playing and replaying all of the worst possible outcomes. The future looks so bleak that you just can't shake off the pain and anxiety. Well, there's hope. Welcome, everyone. This is David Chaim. We are continuing our Motivational Monday series on the art and science of change. Today, we will be learning how to use your mind to overcome fear and anxiety. The reason I am dedicating time to learn and share with the Chevra lessons by the world's leading motivational teachers like Brendon Burchard, Byron Katie, Fabian Fredrickson, and others is that after 8 years and working with close to 1,000 men dealing with addictions, I've noticed that some of them are really excel in the program and enjoy the promises of recovery. But regrettably, I see that the majority of us make some decent progress and have some sobriety, but before long, we seem to fall back into our old ways of thinking and behaving, and then eventually we act out again. I began to realize that no matter how hard I try to teach the guys the tools and the how-to of recovery, that real long-term success comes to those who are motivated in the beginning and stay motivated to work the program as if it is as important and as joyful as freedom itself. Plus, the biggest bonus about learning these techniques is that it benefits us in all areas of our life, not just in recovery, but also as a husband, a father, a provider, in social circles, as a learner, and so much more. So, please allow me to share with you the best techniques and research available today in the art and science of motivation. If I can save just one of you one more hour of agony and frustration that comes from the fall that I didn't want, then I will consider all this effort worthwhile. In our last session, we learned how to have a difficult conversation and be heard. We discussed the following 4 tools. Step number 1, don't enter the conversation with your emotions and expectations. Step number 2, begin by presenting the end goal request in mind. Step number 3, express yourself to the other person by helping them see your point of view. And step number 4, be very patient. Today, we will be talking about how to use your mind to overcome fear and anxiety, and how by becoming aware of the 3 basic types of fear and then learning and applying a new approach towards life and people, we can live a life that is infinitely more relaxing and secure. So let's begin by asking, are we even aware of how fear affects us? Especially the kind of fear that occurs when we get all wrapped up into that obsessive thinking, the kind of thinking that occurs over and over again and on a particularly bothersome topic or concern. Psychologists call the contemplative rerunning of thoughts. Actually, we learned that it is basically bad management of our thoughts. When we study our thoughts and we understand them, then we can overcome the potential harm. We can actually build up competencies to deal with these fearful, anxiety-provoking thoughts. Basically, psychologists tell us that there are 3 types of fear, and then 3 solutions to minimize the harm that these fears do to us. So let's look at fear number 1, which is called the fear of loss and the pain resulting from it. This results from my obsessing and worrying and being scared about what I might lose. For example, the loss that I anticipate that I might lose my job, my reputation, the predictability of life. Maybe the kind the sexaholic feels. What if my wife finds out? What will I lose? And the solution is to minimize the harm of loss, pain, fear, is don't just focus on the potential for loss. You should also focus on the potential for growth and gain. Realize that the fearful mind always asks, what if? which always leads to a statement I say about myself, which is, I can't change. By focusing on the potential at hand to grow, I can foresee the possibility for change and ultimately the growth. The second type of fear is process pain, where I say the following negative thought to myself. For example, this process of change is just too hard, it's too great, it's impossible for me. Certainly, for the man hoping to quit his addictions, nothing holds us back more than fearing that I can't imagine myself without my drug of choice. That's called process fear. The solution is then to learn to see change as a game, to view life as a challenge, as something that is fun, new, and full of variety. I begin to learn to love and invite change into my life. Perhaps you remember the DCO exercise, where we learn to turn something that my mind says is a difficulty into a challenge and then turn it into an opportunity. The third major type of fear is outcome pain. In this state of mind, I always imagine the worst outcome. I'm always questioning the what if. What if it's not better on the other side of recovery? What if sobriety is a dull and empty life? The solution, chevra, is to visualize the other side as fulfilling, imagining the superior value of intimacy with your wife. In this place, I am living in truth, focusing on sobriety, success in relationships, and in business. Here is where I learned that what I focus on is what I attract. And what I attract leads to a positive outcome. In this place, I am living in a place of expansion, not constriction. I am living in a place of allowance. Please recognize the harm that is done by the three types of fear: loss pain, process pain, and outcome. And please know that by simply making the subtle but powerful shifts in our perspective, we can not only begin to see, but also we can begin to experience a life full of hope, joy, and freedom. And I promise you that by utilizing the solutions to the three types of fear, pain, that you too will join the ranks of the high-performance individuals who are now realizing their dreams and aspiration to finally live a life full of sobriety, recovery, joy, and meaningful relationships, who can openly declare, Zeh Hayom Asa Hashem Nagila Benismecha Bo. Thanks everyone for joining me today on this Motivational Monday. And remember, it works if you work it and you're worth it.